Good morning. It is a little after 4:30 in the morning on April 21st, 2025, and you are looking at the Powder magazine in Williamsburg, Virginia. Williamsburg was the capital, the colonial capital of Virginia back in 1775. And so 250 years ago to this very moment, 20 British sailors from a nearby warship anchored in the James River would have been breaking into this magazine. They were supplied with a key by the governor, the royal governor, Lord Dunmore, but they have now entered the magazine to seize gunpowder and weapons from this magazine. So you can see that that magazine is located in the center of town. Down Duke of Gloucester Street there is the Capitol. Across from Duke of Gloucester Street is the courthouse, and then in this direction to the west, if you follow that direction, you'll run into William and Mary. And so those sailors sneak into town. They enter the magazine, and as they were loading up over 700 or approximately 750 pounds of gunpowder in 15 barrels, someone from town spots them and calls out an alarm, which quickly spreads throughout the town. And it's unclear if this was as the sailors were leaving or as they were in the middle of pillaging the magazine. But of course, once the alarm was sounded, they realized they had to get out of there, and so they fled. And then over the next few minutes into no doubt the next hour, hundreds of people, some of them reportedly armed, gathered right here on this spot in front of the courthouse to discover what the ruckus was about. Okay, so I'm going to pan it again. There's the courthouse, and across the field there is the residence of the most prominent man in Virginia at the time. It's Peyton Randolph. He lived only 100 yards away from all this. So he, no doubt, was awakened by the noise, came out to investigate eventually, and he was able to calm the crowd and get them to wait while he and Williamsburg's leaders, the mayor and others, drafted an address, basically, to Governor Dunmore, who lives 300 yards in that direction. And so that's what we're going to do now, is we're going to kind of walk in the footsteps. But I just want to take in the moment, because 250 years ago to this very moment, gunpowder that was stored in that magazine was being seized. And that was a pivotal moment here in Virginia. That was a really crucial moment. We didn't know anything about what had happened up in Lexington and Concord 2 days earlier. We're not going to find out about that for another 8 days. This incident here, the seizure of the gunpowder, is what sets off Virginians and creates, it sparks a series of confrontations and near conflicts. So it's a very significant event happening 250 years ago this morning.